Now, I was under the silly impression that City of Trees would be the worst Christmas movie I watched this year. This movie said, hold my beer. The Family Tree, a film by Jorge Amir, is the worst Christmas movie ever created. Like, here's the thing. The only reason I decided to even watch it, I was like, oh, it looks like it's MMF. I love me a throuple. I love me a MMF. Let's go. Where do I even start? All right, so we have our three main characters. We have Roy. In the middle, we have Lena. And then on the end, we have Victor. So Victor and Alina are the best of friends. They are always hanging out. They used to date, realized it wasn't going to work out. So they just stay friends. For Alina's birthday, Victor orders a Santagram, and that's how Roy comes to the doorstep. They meet Roy for the first time. They're kind of hanging out with him. They're like, hey, come spend some time with us. You seem cool. And Roy's like, you know what? I shouldn't have come. I should have come into your house. I shouldn't be drinking with you. It is actually very unprofessional that I'm doing this. I'm going to head out. He heads out. He gets attacked. And he is knocked out in front of Victor's apartment. Victor walks Alina home. He's coming back, realizes Roy has been sitting outside this whole time. So he brings him into the apartment. He wants to call the police, get Roy to a hospital. Roy is like, nah, we can't do that. You see, I am an undocumented immigrant. And he's like, oh, damn. All right. So we can't do that. So because I'm a vet, Victor's a veterinarian. My husband made it clear that I did not make it clear when I was explaining it to him. He's like, because I'm a veterinarian, I have some medical knowledge so I can help take care of you. So Victor nurses Roy back to health. Roy's just out for like 2 days, knocked out cold. I'm like, this man has a concussion. So Victor takes care of Roy. The two of them start eating breakfast together and all that stuff. And then Victor's like, hey, you need to stay in the country. We just got civil unions legalized here, because apparently the story does not take place in America. I was so confused. The story takes place in Panama. I did not know this until the very end of the movie. I was like, oh, it must be Los Angeles because they speak Spanish and English. Anyway, it takes place in Panama. But he's like, I'll marry you and then you can stay. And Roy's like, I don't swing that way. How dare you? And leaves, but he has nowhere to go because he's homeless. So he goes back to Victor's house. He's like, yeah, let's get married. Because again, he is homeless. He is jobless. He lost his job doing the gram, whatever things. He lost that job. he needs help. So they get married on Christmas Eve. Now, this is where the movie starts getting confusing for me. So they get married on Christmas Eve, all right? And Roy's like, even though I'm not into men, it is our wedding night, so let me give you something. And they get down. And then the very next day, as they're cuddling, Roy's like, no, I just did that for you because I knew you'd be into it. But me, you see, I'm a straight man. I'm straight, so I wasn't into it. But hey, let's go cuddle in this bathtub. And Victor is like, all right, I got to tell my dad I got married. And then they go hang out with Alina. And then that's when Roy is realizing, yo, I'm into Alina. So the three of them hang out because, of course, they're besties. Victor and Alina are besties. And here's my now husband, a.k.a. homeless straight dude who I let live in my apartment. And they hang out. And as they're hanging out, Alina and Roy are getting closer and closer. Until all of a sudden, Roy's like, yeah, I asked Alina to marry me, so we need to get a divorce so I can marry her. And the best part is the way they did it. So this is where the director messed up. They never showed us passage of time. Every time we see their story is taking place during Christmas, usually. So we only really see them operating within Christmas, okay? So I thought it was like 3 weeks past and he's like, yeah, I already asked Alina to marry me, so we need to get a divorce after only being married for a couple. No, it's supposed to be like a year, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they get divorced, apparently. He marries Alina, apparently. And then they call him up. They're like, hey. Just so you know, I'm giving you all the spoilers because I don't even waste your time to watch this movie. They call him up and they're like, hey, we can't have a kid because Roy's swimmers aren't swimming. We want you to be the father of our child. And he's like, okay, you want me to donate sperm? They're like, no. we want you to come with us right now to the bedroom. You and Alina used to date. It's fine. You and I did it before. It's cool. I'm going to be here in the room with y'all while doing anything you need me to do so that you can be into this. Yeah. So Alina's pregnant. She's pregnant. Okay, Alina is pregnant. I had to get myself straight. Alina is pregnant. Roy, I guess, has some job. Victor, they're all good. They're in each other's lives. Something goes wrong, and Alina is rushed to the hospital. So Roy calls Victor, and Victor's like, I'm going to get there. They're waiting for Victor to get there. They're also waiting for a specialist to get there for Alina. Like, there's this whole thing. And then finally, Victor pulls up in a cab, and he's jumping out of the cab. Roy is running across the street to see him. And the specialist is pulling into the hospital and runs over Roy. Crashes into him, and then he's there like, I'm a specialist. I'm here to see a patient, and I didn't see him. He just came out of nowhere, and I hit him. And Victor's like, "No, Roy, don't leave me, Roy." And Roy's there like, "Am I gonna die with the only man I ever loved crying over me while my soulmate is in the hospital delivering our child?" Anyway, so Alina dies in childbirth, which I'm like, really, I didn't need that. Alina dies in childbirth. So Roy's dead because he got hit by a car. Alina's dead in childbirth. And now Victor is there with the baby going, we will have each other. And then the lights flicker because there's like this whole conversation between Victor and Roy where Victor says to Roy, like, will you always be there for me? Will you send me a sign? And Victor's like, I'll make the lights flicker. And the lights flicker. And then it ends with a Christmas song. Listen. It badly acted, badly filmed. Like, there's so many times where they had a handheld camera where it needed a steady cam. The audio was poor in so many areas. Oh my gosh, the audio was just off, and some like voiceovers and all that stuff. Like, this is the kind of movie, if I was a part of it, I'd be like, no, you don't need to put my name in the credits. It's all good. Don't let anyone know I was a part of this. This will be a secret to my grave. Don't waste your time watching it. I gave it a 0 out of 5. 0 out of 5. There's nothing in this movie that made me go, oh, you know what? At least I like that part. Like, it was so bad. This was bad. And the thing is, they do have a story there. There is somewhat of a story there, but someone else needed to write that script. Someone needed to go in and fix that script. So yeah, this video has been too long. I've given this too much of my time already. Don't watch The Family Tree. I saw it on Prime.